So we had Jason Crow on our podcast 3 or 4 weeks ago, and he was so damn good. We're just coming back to him again after a little bit different setting out here in Fort
Repeat
Lauderdale.
offender.
Right. Jason, you were on a panel at this event this morning. You're also very involved with the Democratic campaign committee for November. How do you feel right now? I mean, if you had to size up what November is going to look like for House Democrats, what's your sense?
The way I put it, Al, is that we have an opportunity to win back the support of vast swaths of Americans, right? It is far from a sure thing. If we take it for granted, if we think this is in the bag, we will lose again.
Right.
We have to be hungry. We have to fight like we're behind, because we are. And we also have to overperform, right? This president has shown he's going to cheat. He's going to lie. He's going to do everything possible and weaponize the federal government against Americans, against candidates, against his opposition. We need to win despite all of that, which means our margin of victory is our greatest defense right now.
Well, the thing that worries me, I mean, I think you put it very well, but the other thing that worries me is they're going to try to steal this election. They're going to do everything, they being Trump and his allies. I mean, I think the legal threat is far greater than it was after the 2020 election. And I mean, all the way from impounding ballots to sending in forces to intimidate people. Are you all prepared for this?
Well, look what happened last night in Fulton County, Georgia.
Yes.
Right. FBI raid to seize ballots and infrastructure for elections. Right.
They asked for them in Minnesota.
And apparently Tulsi Gabbard, the director of national intelligence, showed up as part of that raid. So, as a member of the House Intelligence Committee, I really damn well want to know what's going on and why is the DNI showing up to an FBI raid in Fulton County, Georgia. And I know Georgians want to know the answer to that too. They're proud and fiercely independent folks. Why is the FBI and the director of national intelligence rolling up and stealing your ballots? So it's already happening. And, there's the legal threat, but I'm also concerned about the physical threat. Yeah. Right? Why wouldn't we be after what we've seen in Minneapolis, right? The murder of innocent civilians on our streets. So we have to be vigilant about federal agents, about potentially sending troops, the intimidation, the violence against Americans that this administration has shown they're willing to exact on folks. All of it, we're going to have to address and have a plan. And that's what we're doing right now.
James?
So, Congressman, the recruiting, and it seems like, going back to 2018, which I think is the most outstanding freshman class in the history of the United States Congress, and I think I'm being dared out today. But
74 was pretty good too. So kind of tied.
Okay.
74.
Okay.
You guys weren't born then. You weren't born then. I know.
I'll take your word for it.
74. But it seems to me that we really got a lot of people with a lot of public service, military service. We saw that in New Jersey with Cheryl. We saw it in Virginia with Spanberger. Is that kind of a priority for us to get people that have backgrounds and not so much politics, but public service?
Well, it's a priority of mine, not just because that wins races, but because that's also what our country needs.
Right.
It turns out that what Americans are hungry for, first of all, people are tired of the fighting. They're tired of the vitriol and partisanship. They desperately want things to work. They desperately want to be able to focus on their lives and not the constant chaos and the insanity that this administration has brought. And what they know is that people who have actually done things outside of politics, built businesses, served the country in uniform, served as a sheriff's deputy, provided health care locally, doctors and nurses. They know these people know how to actually do real things for a living and work across party lines. So they're hungry for it. It wins elections, but more importantly, that is what our country needs in this moment.
And just so our viewers and listeners know, Jason was in the 75th Ranger Regiment. Let me tell you something. You couldn't do that. Okay, I'm not going to go too deep into it. I know I couldn't do it. I was in a bad shape in my life. But so give me like 2 or 3 recruits that you recruited that are running for Congress that you particularly proud of. We got this woman, we got this guy. Who are some
the Jason Crow and Mikey Sherrills of 2020?
Exactly. Well, first of all my closest friends, Abigail Spanberger, Mikey Sherrill, Alyssa Slotkin, Andy Kim, they've all left the House, right? So I
Ruben,
literally trying to say
Ruben tonight.
Well, I'm trying to save our country by recruit these candidates, but I also need more friends. I'm literally going in that country and trying to find more friends to join me in the House again. So a lot of these are vets, as we talked about, right? And people that I'm excited about, who I'm supporting, are folks like Kate Conlon, Army veteran in New York, running in New York race against a really tough incumbent, Mike Lawler. Right? I'm excited about Maura Sullivan, a Marine Corps veteran in New Hampshire, who's running. I'm excited about.
I think that they could probably part of the same.
Yes, you would love Maura.
Sullivans tend to be that way.
Another one from your tribe, Rebecca Cook in Wisconsin, who doing a great job. Joanna Mendoza, a Marine Corps.
Rebecca Cook, what district?
That's Western Wisconsin, right? Right against Derek Van
Orden.
Yeah.
Oh God,
it was
I'll do anything. I'll send her a chat. It is the most hideous person. When I watch it,
it's absurd.
Well, James, it's a close contest, but he's certainly in the field.
I'll tell you. So Rebecca Cook, you'd love, and then there's Joanna Mendoza, a Marine Corps combat veteran. She was a boot camp instructor, so she actually makes me nervous as a former drill instructor. But a bunch of these women, these Marine Corps veterans who I'm supporting and helping mentor, they're calling themselves the Hellcats, and there's a history behind this, a female combat unit dating back in our military history. But these folks have fight, they have vigor, they know about servant leadership. They're ready to get it done, and I'm proud to support them.
It's something that people need to know. I was before the pandemic. I was visiting Paris Island. The colonel gave me a tour. The women Marines training is just the same as the male Marines.
Oh yeah,
they just have a slightly different PT thing, but they don't. They're famous.
It's tough.
They commandant. They have waves in the Navy and blast in the airport and whatever they're all. They said, "What do we call them?" He said, "Call them Marines." They're called Marines. They don't have a acronym, and they're very big on that.
All of these. I mean, what the other member of the Hellcats, Rebecca Bennett, running in New Jersey, a Navy helicopter pilot, test pilot. Tell Rebecca, that she's not tough. I'm not going to tell Rebecca she's not tough. She would kick my ass. And these women are incredible, and they're going to do great things.
Yeah, that's great. I'm very enthusiastic about the candidates that you've been able to put together, and I'm really hopeful we're going to have a good year. I think we got the right people in place and the right people against. But I'm really for this one in Wisconsin. I don't know why the guy just he just rubs me the wrong way.
He's pretty bad because he talks all the time about the veteran stuff, and he served, and I honor that service. But what has happened. And how he's just been a toady for Donald Trump. Wisconsin deserves a lot better than that.
Yeah, the other thing too. I think being a veteran and having service is certainly something you should. But they could, and I'm not comparing anybody to him. Understand that, but just remember, there was a famous corporal in World War One. Okay, they're not making a comparison, but veterans like anybody else. They can be either really, use that experience to their benefit, or a lot of them, some unfortunately use it to their detriment.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
This doesn't relate to recruiting new candidates, but James and I both are on a tirade about because I think you're not going to be able to do much legislating in the next Congress if Trump's still there. I mean, you'll be able to do appropriations bills and mold things and stop bad things from happening. But a lot of what you have to do is accountability. Investigations. I mean, going through the awful things they've done. And a number of you, including you, are very good at that in the House. One of them is Dan Goldman. And the lefties in New York, encouraged by the mayor, are primarying Dan Goldman. I think you don't want to lose the Dan Goldmans of the world, it would seem to me. I mean, am I exaggerating? I mean, this is the type of person who I think can do a good job holding these people accountable in the majority.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I want to talk about the issue of, accountability or legislating. It's not an or, right? It's an and. That is the job of Congress.
Right.
Congress actually has the constitutional duty of oversight and accountability. It is built into the system.
Somebody forgot to tell this Congress.
Yeah. So the people that say, all we're going to do is accountability investigations, that is in part the job of Congress.
Right.
And we're going to do that job. So it's an and legislate. And there's a lot of ways. I am hopeful there's a path for us to retake the Senate. It is a tough map. I'm not delusional about that, but I think there's a path for that. And if we can retake the House and the Senate, I think we can actually push through appropriations some really important stuff. But Dan is a great example. I mean, Dan was one of our lawyers in the first impeachment trial. He's no stranger to accountability, right? I stepped up to serve as a prosecutor in that first impeachment trial. He was one of our lawyers, our counsel, and stepped up to serve. And I know he knows that process well.
Yeah. James?
So, I guess first of all, I'll be very clear. I think we're going to win the Senate. Okay, I really do, and I don't think it's going to be particularly close. And what I base it on is current polling and election results. People have not comprehended what a big year 2025 was for Democrats.
Yep.
They have not comprehended the margin. And your friend, now Governor Sherrill, everybody was saying, I was at Bob Barnett's memorial service. It was the break before the November election. And to a person, people were saying, well, look, Spanberg is going to win, but I'm really worried about Sherrill. Chiarelli is a really good candidate. She's one everybody's sick of hearing her being a helicopter pilot. It was 100%. She won by 13 points.
Crushed it. She crushed it.
You know what I mean? It just literally crushed it.
James, I hate to stop this, but, he's going right now to campaign for someone who's trying to succeed, Sherrill in New Jersey. And if we don't let this great guest go, they may lose that show. Exactly.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah.
Get you back again.
All right, I would love it. I'd love it. The discussion.